Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Wildermyth. So in the last episode we had actually encountered a couple new things. So a budding romance has sprouted, and we also picked up a new companion, which is Hatta. And yeah, she really hasn't tested her or shown her abilities quite yet. I'm still quite unsure what she's capable of, but we'll find out. We'll find out. Now, I do want to do a quick shout out to Bruce is Nice for letting me know in the comments that just the simple gather option is not necessarily about gathering resources or anything. It's just gathering your party, so I appreciate that. And like I said, if you guys have any other tips or tricks you want to throw out my way, just things you want to clarify, feel free to drop a comment in there, and it is always appreciated. So, but with that being said, we're going to jump right in and see if we can't dispatch some of these Gorgons. Okay. Alright, into the depths. I wasn't imagining it would be quite so picturesque, says Mordmeyer. Something horrible is definitely sleeping here. The cavern of the Sea Spear lies at the heart of a magnificent canyon. Sides of the canyon are smooth and sheer, marble blue and pink, molded and mushed by the hands of titans when the world was clay. Now the stone is hard and sharp and glows. But the canyon's steep places are strung with fragrant clear waterfalls and ruffled greenery. The mouth of the cave is hidden in damp shadow and fern-feathered shade. But Elmdrick spots it and leads the way inside. Even with one eye, he's able to spot that. Smell that? Doesn't it remind you of somewhere? Says Elmdrick. Smells like the ocean. Careful, there's holes. Don't know how deep they go. Elmdrick follows his own echoes into the dripping depths. No eye has scraped these walls in centuries. The air is pickled and still. It's smoother down here, but look at the ceiling. It seems to go up and up. There's distant glimmers, almost like high windows. Glass, maybe? Quartz? I do wish he didn't point that out. Anything could be up there, says Dungeon. Mordmeyer. This looks like the end of the tunnel. Carved and firm and ancient. Oh boy, what have we gotten ourselves into here? Okay, so it looks like we are in the tunnels here. Okay, so this is the Sentinel. The warrior leaps up to 2 tiles in order to intercept a foe who passes nearby, performing a reaction strike. Okay, so it looks like instead of Guardian, we can actually do Sentinel. So I think that's something we're going to have to look out for. But why don't we have Zura open the door here? And it looks like we have encountered Calibine, towering, reeking of algae and old water. It stalks sedately on its stony limbs while the world quakes. Okay, so it looks like we might have a boss fight here. Why don't we try and move Zura back just a tad, because we don't want her to be in harm's way. And we're actually going to see if we can Quelling Moss from a distance to get a nice little poison. Okay, we're able to hit that. And we'll move Dungeon. I think we're going to move Dungeon up to right here. We're going to have him go into Guardian stance. And we're also going to move Elmdrick up as well. So we'll do Sentinel. And what can we interfuse with Mordmeyer? So we can get another Discus and another Discus. I don't know if we can really do anything with these guys per se, but we also got Bones. 4 range and 1 pierce. I think we're just going to go with the Discus for now, even though we really haven't had a whole lot of luck with that in the past. Okay, so it looks like we did block a portion of it, and I don't think Hatta can actually see much. So we're gonna see if we can move here. Yeah, so she can actually do a Bone Spear, Bone Lance, and let's see if we can get a hit. Oh, that's quite unfortunate. Alright, so that poison did a little bit of damage, and it looks like Elmdrick definitely used his Sentinel ability. Okay, so why don't we have Zura take a shot here. and then we'll have Dungeon move on up and do a nice little strike. We'll also have, oh, it looks like Eldrick can do a slam. Why don't we try and do something with Mornmire first? Because we don't want to knock it back out of range, and it looks like he already might be. So we're gonna withdraw and see if we can interfuse with this bone pile. Okay. Unfortunately, we didn't get much damage out of that. Can we get a bone lance on him? I think we can without actually hitting Eldrick, so there we go. Alright, and now let's see what we can do with Eldrick. Excellent. And it looks like that poison actually took it out from Zura, so that was quite a good fight there. We really didn't take any damage at all. So, Mornmire says, don't you wonder how that thing lived down here, or where it came from? Eldrick says, let's get what we came for. The air in the chamber is clear and almost sweet. The corpse of the great guardian shrivels inside its carapace. Eldrick approaches the edifice. The spear is glass-like, grand. It radiates legacy and power. It's just strange. What can this thing really mean to them? The poem is an oral heirloom. My guess is that the hero queen who wielded this lance in antiquity was actually a Gorgon. Interesting. So it's kind of an emblem to them, maybe, of a past hero? As Eldrick grips the spear, a noise begins to grow in the outer tunnels. It's the noise of feet and hooves, of a tortured lungs shoveling air, and the slickering squelch of creeping things. By the sound of it, a horde of Gorgon beasts is pouring towards the chamber. We need to hope they don't cut off our escape. Even I don't believe we'll survive if we stay here. Okay. Oh, it looks like we got an artifact. That is actually really, really cool. And it looks like it's a great spear. So I'm not sure if we want to give that to Eldrick. I mean, he seems rather attached to it, so I think we might actually do so. I think we are going to do that. Because I would like to give a weapon to Hadza, but I mean, she's already using a wand, and that's really not going to do a whole lot for her. So, unfortunately, we won't get that knockback from the castle song, but I think this is going to be quite a good upgrade for Eldrick, and he's going to be pretty beefy here. So let's claim that petroglass spear for him. And it also looks like we have 2 foe cards of enemies who have entered the fray here. And we're going to be encountering our first Geist, it looks like. Okay. So we need to escape. I really don't know where we can escape to. Oh, looks like right here. Alright, let's have Zura open the door for us. Awful noises and rank smells rush out of the dark. Just by the echoes, you can tell their numbers are next to limitless, says Eldrick. We're not trapped. They're entering from a different tunnel. Mornmire is very astute. Well, if he's right, our way might still be open. Let's avoid as much fighting as we can. All we can do is choose a direction, says Zura. She's right. Well, we got to escape alive. Let's hope that is a thing we can do. So we're going to actually silk step with Zura and do a little bit of scouting, I think. But we're also going to bring Dungeon up over here, as well as Eldrick, and we're going to slowly move our guys up while keeping them guarded with one another. Okay. It looks like another Geist has entered the area here. And it certainly looks like we might be able to interfuse this stone tentacle right here. So let's see if we can do that. And maybe... yeah, I think we can hit this guy. That's really good. We actually took him out pretty much right away. Which kind of clears the way for the rest of our party to, like I said, slowly move ahead. We'll make sure we're just keeping them behind our frontliners here. Okay. We'll have Mornmire. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh no. Okay, that's okay. We can move her up over here, and she is still currently invisible. So, let's see what we can do here. It looks like Dungeon can move up just a bit more. Alright, and a Bogmore is also entered. What can we do? We need to get Mornmire up here so we can start interfusing with certain things. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to really get a whole lot this turn, but if we can actually get him closer to the playfield, we're going to be in better shape. Now what we can do is have Hatta interfuse, and it looks like we can start doing some stuff to this Geist here. So we can nice trap down and see if that will work. Okay, so we got traps here. I don't actually know if these are going to affect our party or not. But I think, yeah, I think this is one of our escape routes. Or no, this is one right here. So why don't we try and deal with this Geist? We'll have Zura shoot. Nice shot here. And then I think we can have Mornmire interact. Or no, we can't. So we're gonna have Dungeon move up right here. Looks like we got another Geist uncovered. We're gonna also bring Elmdrick up over here as well. Okay, let's see what this Geist does to us. Looks like we got yet another one. Oh my. Elmdrick is looking pretty strong, guys. He is looking pretty doggone strong. Okay, so let's bring Hatta up. We're gonna have her kind of just sit once again in the back line, and I think once we actually have everyone together, we'll probably move up from there. So we're just gonna bring everyone together for right now. I don't believe Mornmire can really do a whole lot with interfusion at the moment, but it looks like we might be able to put some fire out and perhaps damage this guy. So I think we're gonna put it right here. Okay, let's bring our let's bring Dungeon. Or actually, we're gonna wait for right now until the next turn. Okay. And they're just starting to gather up quite a bit. You know, I knew this Sentinel ability was gonna get us in trouble, and it looks like Elmdrick has decided to just jump in the fire there by himself. So we're gonna bring him as far out as we possibly can. I think we're just gonna bring him over here. Yeah, that seems appropriate. So let's get Hatta to move up right next to him. And I think Dungeon will just take the back here. That way he can protect the ones who are lagging behind just a bit. We can protect both areas. There we go. That way we're keeping all of our heroes nice and gathered up and guarded. We might be able to get out of here okay. Yeah, especially with those traps there. Okay. So let's bring Elmdrick. He's gonna take the front. Okay. Bring Hatta up right next to him. Once again, we're going to just casually move our guys along this way. I think Zura might be able to move all the way over here. Yeah, it certainly looks like it. Dungeon might be falling back just a tad bit, but it looks like he's got Mornmire to give him a little bit of guard. And we're really needing to get out of here, so we'll send Elmdrick out first. And I think we might be able to have everyone get out of here in this turn. Certainly looks like it. I think we did a good job escaping. Alright. Got a little bit of experience for everyone. And it also looks like we got a dusty drab. So we can give that to Hatta since Mornmeyer's already got one. It's going to be a nice little replacement. Alright. We left that canyon and cave behind. The enemy's treasure is in our hands. We should be joyful. But we know a clash is coming. My books claim wars are won piece by piece, tract by tract. Winning one hill doesn't decide anything. We can only hope this small victory buys us time. Very ominous. Very ominous. Oh, it looks like we've already completed the chapter as well. Okay. So we've earned 7 years of peace, and we've got... I didn't actually realize this was going to progress the chapter pretty much already, but it looks like our heroes are actually, they're doing quite well. I mean, they didn't seem to have any issues with that. So let's see what happens. Alright, we have a row that's getting extra damage here. That isn't too bad. Alright, let's see what happens during the years of peace. So I had to spend a month tracking a golden stag. As she finally raised her weapon for the kill, the stag looked her straight in the eyes and laughed. Hadza went home with a prize greater than any set of antlers. Unconvinced that the threat was gone for good, Dungeon continued to train relentlessly. Mornmeyer and Zura's wedding followed river tradition. They placed painted stones in a boat to represent all the cares of their old lives. Then they sent it downstream. So that's an interesting development. It looks like a little bit of marriage has occurred during peacetime. I'm happy for them. I'm happy for them. Those two greedy bastards deserve each other. Alright, let's see what happens next. The night celebration will carry on long, inspiration to 100 lovers who came after. Ornmeyer says, their custom was born here, you know, in Misty Bottom. Zura says, didn't know that, no, was just thinking how I'd love to dunk you in the water and hear you holler. Zura noticed that the marketplace at Misty Bottom had fallen into despair during all the conflict, so she passed the summer helping to rebuild it. Zura Long and Alinder Duffbar's son has reached adventuring age. Zurius Duffbar has joined the rowdy Ragtag Adventurers as a warrior. Okay. That is very, very cool. Alright, let's see what kind of stuff we got. So we have Sentinel, and this is the ability that Alinder had just picked up, and it seems to be rather powerful, so we might consider getting that. So Wolf Call, after a successful kill, Zurius' allies gain +2 speed for this and the following turn. So he looks to be very reminiscent of Alinder as kind of a frontline damage dealer. And then we also have Shield Shear. Once every other turn, as a swift action, Zurius shreds 2 of a foe's armor with his weapon. Now, I actually think we're probably going to go with Shield Shear, and the only reason I'm going to do that is because we do need somebody to start chipping away at monsters' armor, especially as it becomes more powerful. So I think Shield Shear is probably going to be the way to go for Zurius. Alright, so during the years of peace, looks like Zura has got another transformation here. So she's got a gem arm, and I don't know if this is going to remove her ranged abilities. So I think we're going to try it and just kind of see what happens. Okay. Yeah, why don't we do that? She's actually 43 years old now. Time has certainly passed. Okay, and now we have the upgrade phase. So what I would like to do is I would like to continue upgrading Dungeon's armor, because he's been really good to us as a tank, and this is quite a bit of armor that we can get for him. I mean, we've been using him as a tank, and I think we're going to continue to do so. So we're going to upgrade it to Nightmail, which is a largely plated suit of armor with intricately designed and bolted joints and very few sections of naked chain. The heaviest and most plodding design there is. It also provides an impressive blank. So it looks to be the same description as the Link Mail here. So we're going to create that and have him equip it. It looks like he's pretty beefed up. And now we do have Elmdrick, who is also wearing that tier 2 garb, so he's looking pretty good. I don't really think he needs any other upgrades at this point. But what we do need to do is we need to give Hada some stuff. And I think we're going to give her this wand here, so that she can actually start doing a decent amount of damage, similar to Mornmire. So we're going to craft that, which is a powerful wand. It's called Hitherclare's Flog. Okay. And what can we do with Mornmire? Can we give him anything else? Doesn't really look like it. We can't give him something that gives a little bit more spell damage. I think we might actually go with that, because he's kind of been our he's kind of been one of our main damage dealers with that interfuse ability. So let's give him that. Yeah. And then yeah, it certainly looks like Zura is now more of a roguish character. She can't really do anything with a bow, so I don't really know if that was the greatest decision that we made. That's kind of unfortunate in a way. It is kind of unfortunate, but I think we really need to go with this Ghost Draft now and give her a little bit more speed and dodge so that she can make use of her sword arm. She definitely is going to need some more armor and speed and just something to keep her moving on. Alright, now for Zuria Stuffbar, who is the son of both Mornmire and Zura. We have got a nice great spear for him. So I think we can actually... Can we give this hammer? No. I don't think we can. But I would like to give him something that is probably two-handed as well, since he's looking very similar to Elmdrick there. So I think this is probably a good baseline. Maybe we'll give him a two-handed axe, especially because it gives him some shred, which is, again, what we kind of spec'd him into, is we gave him that armor shred ability. So I think pairing that with the two-handed axe is probably going to be pretty powerful. Why don't we do that? Why don't we do that? He's going to be our Conan-esque guy. Okay. I think we're all set for our heroes now. Some storms batter compromise into combative neighbors. Grudges are no shelter in bitter weather. The rains had been falling for a full week, with brief interludes of tense massing clouds and dripping branches. Mountain snows melted and water roared from the heights. The seas whirled and wrung at the shores, flung waves ever further. Rivers conquered their banks and marched wider. Valleys turned to huge, brackish lakes. Lowland wood and the dams of dry times were swept away, as creatures of all shapes and kinds sought escape from churning floods. You think Ulstrix poisoned the weather? After all this time? Why? How? With what? There's no rational explanation for this confluence of catastrophes, says Elmdrick. Yeah, certainly looks like it. Nothing's ever made sense about this, but oh, someone at the door. The strange party of visitors begs a fire. They appear to be on edge, here in a common dwelling and also very soggy. Arnon, you say we're natural allies. Care to explain? The haggard man behind the horns, calling himself Arnon, takes a long breath and turns to address Mornmire and the rest. Ask my wife, he says. Ask my wife. She sent me. Can you believe that? At my advanced age? I grew up here in Rose Stable. You know, it looks different. His two underlings shift and resettle their garments as they dry out. Must be about the flooding, says Mornmire. Huh? Says Arnon. You know why the... No? Everyone knows. It's those Tentaclass, the Gorgons. They bring ruin on us all. Which Gorgons? They're blue. That's real descriptive there. And Mornmire says that checks out. Elmdrick is wondering who their leader is, but the Gorgons are flooding the world. They've set it in motion and can't be stopped. Almost. How? None of this should be possible. I mean, the rain, the melt, the sea. You're right. It shouldn't be. The great balance should be unassailable. But somehow, they've thrown it over. The torrents fall, the seas thrash, the soil seeps back down our warrens. Ulstrich? No, it's Gorgons I'm saying. It is Ulstrix. I knew it would be. The bees have our warren hemmed in. My wife's inside, dry and warm. You need to talk to her. Hemmed in? But you slipped by them? It's why it had to be me. I'm a master at looping the light. I tend to be missed. And you have some kind of good faith offering, or... I've got some mush bread. Don't want my dew cheese. Okay. He certainly gives us an option, a strange one. But this weather, these floods, what else can we go on? If you want to watch the world sink beneath a rising sea, watch all land things perish, then you're exactly where you need to be. But if you sense, Arnon thuds a lump-soaked fabric on the table. Here's a, oh, it's wet. I mean, it's a map. Sorry, it's all dry and crinkly. Follow the map. Come to our warren, there learn for yourselves how you can deflect this drowning doom and these lands all save. The shadows deepen. All monster groups will draw an extra monster card in every battle. Oh boy. Okay, so it certainly looks like our world map has expanded, and we are now in Chapter 3 with a new party member, Zuria Stuffbar, and a married couple, Zura and Mormire. So we got our heroes a little bit extra gear. Let's check the world map and see if there's anything additional for us. So it looks like that's where we're going to be heading to, is all the way down there in the southwest portion of the map. But before we do that, we're probably going to have to clear out some of these infested tiles, and it looks like we're actually on another time limit, and we can't really do a whole lot about it. So we're going to have to be quick with whatever we do, and I think we're also probably going to have to send a pair of people to this this land over here. Actually, we might send our whole party over here, because we do have 2 infested groups. So I think we'll end up sending our party over there so that we can gather a new recruit and continue to build our party. But that'll all have to be in the next episode. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate all the support and any comments that you guys are dropping. Make sure you guys like and subscribe so you can see more content from me. And once again, I really appreciate all the support you guys are giving me. So I will see you guys in the next episode, and in the meantime, take care.